you doing, my friends? Welcome back for some... I just said Tarkin, which is a Mortal Kombat species, but I said it kind of like Hadouken, which is a Street Fighter thing.
So then it was Baraka doing Hadouken. Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat confirmed.
One day. Never, actually. How you doing, my friends? Welcome back to the Jovenshire channel, where we cover all things superheroes, video games, comic books, TV shows, all things geeky here in one place, including some Magic the Gathering, but not today. Today we're talking about some friends and family. We've got Mr. Raw Nerdsworth up here in the room.
How you feeling? Feeling nice, and I mean.
Glad to have you back. Last week we were playing some Ultimate Alliance 3. We had Gumby on that video. And today we are learning
like getting the energy out before you get the energy out.
Remember those Rocky Morphin? I was gonna go with the Power Ranger gloves you wore, and then they.
I was poor.
I didn't have them either.
You were poor.
We were poor. First fun fact. Black, white, doesn't matter. Poverty hits us all.
I do. It just,
it is 5 fun facts, and on 5 fun facts, we learn 5 things we did not know about a guest. And today, we've got Amra here as our guest, and we've got links to all of his stuff in the comments below, so please go check out and support and love our good baby boy right here.
Love to entertain you.
But let's start off. Let's get it going.
And this is the thing. I have to try to stump you too, I feel. Like, we've been friends forever.
Yeah, like literally more than a decade, 2008.
Easy. Like, consistent work and friendship.
This fall would be 11 years of friendship.
Wow. That's a divine number. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, it's
also
our year.
10, which is heaven in Japanese. Okay, first fact. I've written 3 theater shows that have toured the UK.
Like, are you Lin-Manuel?
Basically, like, but before you know.
Are you not gonna give up your shot?
The thing is, I came up under like a theater, very theater heavy,
because of all your dance background,
oriented group by the name of Rennie Harris Peer Movement, the Philly based. I'm from Philly, which I'm confident you knew. But
you're like bi-coastal right now, LA and Philly.
Yeah, that's the dream. That's what I desire. With Rennie Harris, we would do theater dancing, but it was also hip hop based. So this was coming in. This was 2002, and from 2002, over the course of
I was a freshman in high school.
Over the course of 6 years, for
up until I saw
6 months at a time, I would travel to the UK and teach and dance.
I didn't know that you had 3 shows that toured the UK.
I wrote the first one I wrote, like, I hadn't. This is the thing why I'm so very like, if you have an idea, go for it. I wrote my first script in a notebook. I didn't know the proper formatting for a play script or anything. All I knew is I had an idea, and I had, friends with dance talent and a producer who
surround yourself with good people, and you become good people.
Surround yourself with creators, definitely. Because that's the things that serve your life path as well, especially as humans. So I wrote a show called Heroes that was before the TV show Heroes.
Yeah.
And then I made like a 2.0 version of it, and then I wrote a show that I really want to relaunch in another format or other formats called The Hip Hop Adventures of Peter Pearl, which was originally called The Hip Hop Adventures of Poindexter Pundit, but the producers were like, no one's gonna get what that means.
Not anymore.
Yeah, so that was my last show, and I really still enjoy that story, and I want to expand on that.
It's time to tour again.
Yeah, well, that is a goal, but I'm trying to get the globe.
That was, in fact, a fun fact. We are starting off strong. You got me on one. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know that you wrote 3 different shows. I knew that you danced in Europe, but I didn't know that was because of something that you wrote.
Wrote, co-directed, and co-choreographed. It's the creator era, right? But this is before, right? Like,
this
even
was
YouTube
before YouTube.
Yeah, so I was
already... You made your own medium. YouTube allowed a medium for many people to create. You were like, you were ahead of you needed a tool, and you're like, screw it, I'm doing it now.
And it still serves me to this day. That's why, a polymath, a person who has encyclopedic knowledge of many things.
No, that's a 3rd evolution of polywag.
That's polymath.
So that was one fun fact.
One fun fact.
We were on a roll here. We got 4 more. So give me that 2 fun facts.
Okay. Fun fact number 2.
Ghosts.
My birth name, Amra, was inspired by the classic Conan the Barbarian comic book.
So I always thought it was off not only the Egyptian god.
Inspired by. Then my dad fell down a rabbit hole. And that put him on the path of like ancient Egypt and the love for ancient Egypt.
So the origin story of your name
comes from comic books.
What character?
Amra the Lion. So Conan was in this place, it's like the Stygian coast, like it's the massive area. It's basically the equivalent of Africa in this.
We just got nerdy on you.
Yeah, world. And there's this kid who was royalty. His dad was basically expedited from the kingdom, and he was a prince, and he wound up on the Stygian coast where he eventually came up upon a bunch of lions, and they raised him, and he became the alpha of the lions. And the people of that
arc.
Yeah, and eventually my dad was like, Amra. And in the comic books there must always be an Amra, and Conan eventually became Amra after he killed the original redhead.
There must always be an Amra, and there will always be an Amra.
So raw.
So that is 2 fun facts. We are on a roll, and I'm loving what I'm hearing. Can you get me with a 3rd fun fact?
When I was young, when I was like a kid, single digits, I was hit by a car and both of my legs were broken.
Not fun. But I didn't know that.
I was in a wheelchair for 3 months.
That must have been your purgatory. That was your awakening to be like, I must move.
Well, the thing that was interesting is I think I learned a lot about community in terms of like, I couldn't go to school, so I'd stay with my godparents. I couldn't go upstairs, so my grandmom or my uncle or cousins, they'd carry me up and down the stairs so I could go to sleep and stuff like that. Like, so I learned a lot about being for the people you love when they can't be it for themselves. And that's like a lot of where my memories exist. Like those. So why it might not be fun the getting hit by a car and everything, but the care that I got, right?
Yeah, we go through our adventures and it takes us somewhere.
Yeah, and after getting my casts removed because my legs were so basically emaciated, right? Like that's the word, right? I could do splits.
Thus the movement began.
Yeah, so I got flexible from not being able to use my legs.
That is a weird superhero origin story.
You can do bandana splits.
Daredevil, how did you get your powers? Well, this radioactive ooze got shot on my eyes. Ah, cool. Hey, Flitz, how'd you get your superpowers? I got hit by a car, now I'm bendy.
Yeah. Inflatable.
So we've got some fun facts going. 3 of the 5. 3 I didn't know.
3 you didn't know.
3 I didn't know. I'm starting to wonder if you just lived such an interesting life, or if I'm actually not as good of a friend as I thought.
No, I've lived a lot of life, and I don't. So fact number 4. What is this? 4?
4. 4.
This is 4.
4.
So my first career was professional dancing, right? Many of the people who taught me, and this is pretty consistently, like year to year, and having conversations with them, also taught Michael Jackson.
The people who taught you how to dance.
A great portion of the people who taught me how to dance, and they were my mentors and helped me with my movements, also taught Michael Jackson. The Electric Boogaloos, which is Poppin' Pete from Breaking. You know, you watch Breaking, right? No. So Poppin' Pete, Poppin' Taco, Skeeter Rabbit, rest in peace, and then the Lockers, Don Campbell. They were also teachers of Michael Jackson. So I learned the true names behind different things. Like the moonwalk is called the moonwalk, but that's not what it's called. It's actually called the backslide and different things like that. And that's why Michael Jackson has the moves he does. He learned a lot from Poppin' Taco, who was actually in in our You OK video. He was one of the main choreographers for a long time.
And you know Poppin' Taco, or knew Poppin' Taco.
I knew Poppin' Taco. We're not like, we don't talk all the time anymore, but I still exist in awe of his being because he's up there. He has this amazing white mane, and he's still
You set the bar too high for this channel's 5 fun facts. I don't know if we can find more fun facts than that. That is like the pinnacle of fun facts.
Yeah, it's something I'm very proud of because it's not something that many people can say. The Electric Boogaloos aren't touring as much as they used to, teaching as much. They're up in their 50s and 60s.
Where are they located now?
The Electric Boogaloos, all over. I think predominantly Los Angeles and Vegas. I want to say, you know, that's popping. That was Michael Jackson's like main. That's why he move the way he did because he learned.
Look
learned
out.
pop.
Oh, look out.
Yeah, Michael was killing it. Yeah, so yeah, that's where a lot of my b-boying comes from. New York. That's New York and Philly. Like those are my mentors in terms of
That is,
yeah.
sir, 4 fun facts. I don't think I've ever had anyone on here that like outright just had 5 fun facts in a row. Like you know the people I know.
We know the same people.
Yeah, they're okay. But sir, and big, what is our 5th fun
I don't know if
fact?
this is the biggest ending, but I actually originally moved to LA for 2 reasons.
Okay.
One was to join G4 Television.
That one I knew.
That one you knew, but my most prominent reason was actually to act.
That is something people do not know enough about you.
And I was before, as I was pursuing G4, which was going away and I didn't know, you know, I was just auditioning and auditioning and auditioning for movies. And like, well, I've like auditioned for like Derek comedy films and stuff like that. Like, so I've gotten to, in that, which was great, I've gotten to party with like Donald Glover and stuff like that.
Cool dude.
He's such a cool dude. And I've gotten to act. I have IMDb credits under my belt, thankfully, and I continue to pursue that. But what happened was Smosh Games became my G4 Television. I didn't know how it was going to manifest. So I reached both of my goals, but the acting goal is now on a higher pedestal.
Yeah,
but
as it should always be.
Yeah.
Like once you've done well in something, well, you just expand that goal and you do it again, but bigger.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you prestige in a video game.
I feel that. I'm
You're
second classing
New
about
Game
the
Plus,
second
yeah.
class.
You are on your path.
I am.
See, I was actually talking to our boy Leo recently,
I love Leo.
and we were trying to figure out
so
like
handsome.
having like this conversation of like, what's next? How do we find the next thing? How do we find the next thing? And finally, I just kind of stopped. I was like, you know what? What's next will find us. As long as we keep making the right moves and making the right choices, what's next will always find you. You just have to be open for that
this is what
adventure.
I've learned. The things you do are the things that serve you. Put out the attention you want to get and be continuous in your efforts, but ultimately do it for you and the people you need. The situations, as long as you don't stay stagnant, they'll open. But you have to heed the calling. You can't let imposter syndrome get in the way of your dreams and aspirations. That's a real thing. Look it up, and the better you understand the things you're affected by, the easier it will be to push through them.
Well, there you go. That is 5 fun facts. I knew the last one because I know my boy. Okay, I know my boy 1/5 as much as I thought I knew.
Yeah.
But guys, this is Amra. You know him, you love him. We have links to what he's doing down below. Anything that you want to plug specifically that you're working on, that you want to get more eyes and attention on?
I have my own personal YouTube channel, Nerdsworth on everything, which I'll put my tweets on as well. I'm Flitz on Twitter. And I really would love for you to check out UltraQuest, where me and my homie Gumby, we've joined that family, the UltraQuest family, where we introduce you to different concepts in terms of anime and expanding heavily in Japanese culture.
Because there is so much of it.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Guyver?
Yeah, I've watched Guyver.
It's because you're the only one that knows what Guyver is. Dude, look at this.
Yeah, no, I know.
He
looks like Darth Guyver. It's
Yeah.
Darth Guyver. I like that he has a heart on his head because he's with the light side.
Yeah, in that story. Sure. Guys, go follow him, go love him, go support the guy. He's bi-coastal now, Philly and LA, so whenever you're out here, I love having you here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, we do all things geek culture here. And that's it. That's 5 fun facts. Next week, I'm trying to get Noah. We'll see if we can get Noah on here for next week. Yeah, we'll text him. Guys, that's it. Till the next time, we'll see you later. You want to try saying that?
Until next time, Matarai shine.
No, that's Mari.